Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for IDW Sonic the Hedgehog issue 47. When we last left our heroes, everyone, or specifically Amy and Tangle, Belle, and Jewel, were dealing with this forest fire, unbeknownst to them, set by Surge and Kit, as we learned in the first issue of Imposter Syndrome. I will probably be discussing some of what we learned in Imposter Syndrome throughout this video, so if you've not read that yet, go read that before you watch this video. But anyway, the fire had started, and it was up to the girls to sort of work on containing it, specifically with Amy and Jewel, on more of a, calm the people as panic is starting to rise among the other campers, especially when the park rangers close the gates to prevent a stampede. So Jewel, with some encouragement from Amy, sort of takes control of the situation, becomes the leader that Amy believed she can be when she handed over the restoration to her, and really starts to help out an evacuation and at least short-term protection attempt of the campers. Meanwhile, Tangle has found Belle in the woods, and they also find the Rangers' missing son, Ash, and his red wisp, who are also missing. And as that whole group, along with a friendly Motobug Badnik, tries to make it back to the campsite, a tree falls over after being struck by lightning, I think, causing the ground they're all on to collapse into the river. And that's where we left off. Let's dive right on into issue 47. Our picture here is of Tangle and Belle on a log, just sort of riding down heavy, like a rapid river, maybe giving us a hint as to what they'll be up to this issue. Then we have our previously with Belle being knocked out and the kind of like foreshadowing, oh no, or the red herring of did she start the fire, Amy seeing the fire, the ranger looking for his son, Ash telling Tangle and Belle about Surge and Kit, and then the gang, sort of, that whole group moving downriver or downstream right before they fall into the cliff, and Jewel leading her prevention attempts, Our roll call here is for Amy, Tangle, Belle, and Jewel. And yeah, we open right after where we left off. Tangle, at least, has caught on to the tree that fell with them and is clutching onto that for dear life, while the Motobug, Belle, and Ash, and I think Red Hot is the Wisp's name, they're all in the river, sort of being swept up in it all. Tangle calls, "Grab my tail!" And Belle reaches for it. Got it! And Tangle tries to pull her up. Stupid heavy. And then, I guess something happens and Tangle ends up spinning, or the log ends up spinning, getting Tangle tied up in the log. Oof! At the very least, Belle has made it, and the Motobug is also wrapped up in there, and Belle has Ash, and the Wisp can fly. He's fine. But the whole group looks roughly, if not safe, at least momentarily not in imminent danger of death. Anyway, Tangle reacts, "That was awesome! Let's roll it again!" And Belle just snapped. I love Belle's reaction there. No! Are you fucking with me right now? But Tangle calls back, "Hang on, it's about to get bumpy." But Belle protests, "There's no way! We're all gonna get splintered!" And Ash is just panicking now. "I don't want to get... Wah!" And he just starts crying. Belle sort of set him off. And Belle tries to, apologize. "Whoa, hey, let's be brave together, okay? Nobody's gonna get hurt. I'll make sure." And she kind of, moves Ash from behind her to in front of her to sort of, hold on to him better. And Ash just asks, "Promise?" "Yeah, promise." And then they sort of the log kind of flies up off the rapids. Not off a waterfall or anything, just kind of a bumpy wave. Tangle cheers. Woo! So I do like, though, Bella's, this whole time sort of been... I'm trying to find the right way to phrase this. She's, the newcomer, and because her character is so defined by her relationship with her father, she's kind of placed in this child role, for lack of a better word. And we're seeing here, she gets to be maybe not maternal, but at least a big sister figure to Ash. Being the comforting source, he's kind of panicking because everything's going to shit. And she's sort of being there to tell him, no, it's all going to be okay. It's a nice work with that writing there. Anyway, after Tangle's yell, Belle just turns to her. How are you enjoying this? And Tangle just calls back, how are you not? I've wanted to be an adventurer forever. Doing new things, helping people, just going for it, like with Whisper. And Belle doesn't know Whisper, who just asks, who's Whis? And then the log hits something, yeah! And as the log goes flying, Tangle calls, this is what I love! And as they actually did go off a tiny little waterfall there, but they're all okay. And Belle just knows believing in yourself like that doesn't come easily to everyone. You're lucky. And Tangle looks back at her, never thought about it that way. But they're coming up on another maybe bigger waterfall, and Tangle calls, whoa, everybody hang on tight. And their log starts to peek over the edge. And then we cut to Amy, who is doing something with the river. She's got I like the image of the bandana around herself to protect herself from the smoke. As we saw last issue, the smoke is affecting the organic members of the cast pretty badly. But I don't know enough about fire prevention to know what exactly that little loop thing she's putting in the ground is going to do. I don't know. Oh, no, actually, hold on. I misread that. Because we see the bucket. There's a full bucket she's handing off to some yellow person behind her. That's just the handle of the bucket. It's not some loop that's going to do anything. They're moving water to, I guess, closer to the campground. And Amy looks up, and she sees Tangle and Belle and Ash and the Wisp and the Motobug all falling through the water. Tangle! Belle! And she turns over to the person behind her and says, take over for me. And she calls, Jewel, come quick! And we see, I guess the log splintered on the rock. As Amy runs over to them, where are they? And Jewel calls, there! We also see this river is not very deep. It goes up to Amy's ankles. We see the top of Tangle's heads. Tangle's head, singular. And Jewel picks her up. Tangle! Okay. And Amy looks around. Where are the... Oh! And Tangle, who's still got all the others wrapped up in her tail. Don't worry, I got you covered. And the ranger comes running by, calling, Ash! And Ash calls, Dad! And as they go to hug, the ranger asks, I guess he asked Belle, I think? Did you keep my boy safe out there? I don't know how to thank you. Ash tells him, we were brave together. And Belle responds, that's fine. There's no need. It's what I do, I guess. So yeah, we see that they're all, a bit of a happy reunion amidst all the flames, which is good. I do want to take a moment to look at the Tangle Jewel scene there. As that sort of splintering off of their friendship has sort of been a recurring theme for both of those characters for a while now. And I'm wondering if that Jewel saving Tangle will be the first moment of a sort of, not quite reconciliation, because they never really broke up their friendship or anything, but sort of going back to how they were before, Jewel got saddled with all this responsibility or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to call attention to that. Tangle looks around. Looks like the campground's still in one piece. That's good. And Jewel tells her, for now, the fire break won't hold for her. And then she spots the Motobug. Bad Nick! And Tangle tries to stop her. Wait, it's safe. And Belle responds, at least we think it is. And Tangle tells the group, it helped us get out of the woods. I guess it's defective? And Amy looks at it. A friendly Motobug? There's a first for everything. They're kind of cute when they're not trying to run you over. And I like the look in the Motobug's eyes. It looks kind of grateful, almost like it's tearing up almost. But Jewel turns to the others. We've got bigger problems right now. At this rate, it's only a matter of time before the fire breaks through here. It might be for the best to call it off and finish the evacuation. And they all sort of look on at the fire as it burns. And Belle notes, I guess that's it for the forest. And Amy turns to them. I'm sorry I dragged all of you into this mess. If anybody wants to leave, I won't blame you. But if there's any way left to fight the fire, I think we've got to try. I'm curious what she's apologizing for. Is she apologizing for bringing them onto the camping trip? Or is it like in the aftermath of last issue when she was sort of like the one encouraging Belle to take this leadership role and try to fight the fire and not evacuate, I guess? But it's kind of a weird little bit of like I don't know what part of this would be Amy's fault is kind of my question there. I don't know. Anyway, and Belle kind of pushes back against that. You can't blame yourself for this, Amy. Yeah, like, again, Amy didn't really do anything wrong there. And Tangle's still on her kind of adventurer side. And I'm not going anywhere. This is too much fun. And Belle turns to her. You have an interesting idea of fun. But yeah, we've got to help. And Jewel's sort of thinking, I think I have a plan. And Tangle and Amy just jump on her. You do? I'm not sure if it'll... excuse me. I'm not sure if it'll work, though. It's risky, and it'll take all of us. But Amy just tells her, holding out her hand like this sort of thing, we can tackle anything if we're working together. And Tangle joins in, yeah! And Jewel's also sort of held out her hand, and Belle looks at them all kind of confused. What are you... And Amy fills in, it's a thing you do as a team, and as friends. And you want me to? Of course. And Belle adds her hand to the top of it. The four of them are a team here, and they're going to do whatever they can to save the forest. And they all release, let's go! And Jewel starts giving directions. Tangle, Amy, I need you to dam the river. Think you can do that? And Amy tells her, I think I've got a few ideas. Great. Belle, you're with me. And Belle, Jewel, and the Motobug go running off. As Jewel calls out to the people working to dig the trench. Everyone, please move back to the park gate. Be ready for evacuation. And then we see, what the plan is, Amy's plan is she's got Tangle's tail wrapped around this tree. Tangle calls out, ready. And Amy readies her hammer. Okay, here goes. And she slams the hammer. And Tangle, as she has control of the tree, is able to drag the tree and the ground under the tree over the river. It's working. Keep going. And it crumbles. And it falls right in place, hopefully damming the river a little bit. Though, it's not exactly a big dam. It won't take much for the river to sort of flow over that tree. But it does work for now, which is good. Okay, hold on. I think I might have misinterpreted what's going on there, possibly. Because Tangle calls one flood coming right up. And it might be that, they were building up the water and they removed the tree. Or the water is now going a different... Oh, maybe they dug the trench and now with one route blocked, the water is all going down the other route. I'm not sure. I am by no means a tree expert or a dam expert, but the river's flowing towards the campsite. Jewel calls, hurry, please! And as this trio of animals try to, hear Jewel's call, one of them is in the trench and is getting caught by the water. Dang it! And Belle comes riding in on the Motobug, and Belle grabs him. It's okay. We're here to help. And everyone's sort of evacuating from we see the water is starting to flow over the trench. And Jewel looks down. Okay, that should do it. And she calls over to Amy and Tangle. Quick, break the dam. And Tangle sort of doesn't know quite what to do. Break it? I didn't actually think that far ahead. But Amy just calms her down. It's nothing a little smashing can't fix. Everybody stand back. And yeah, she just takes a hammer to the tree. Kia! And the water starts to flow. Tangle grabs Amy with her tail. And Jewel looks on. That should return the river to its natural course. Although there might be some new white water. And Tangle, always the adventure fiend, notes, that's a bonus in my book. And Belle and Motobug arrive. Belle tells them, everybody's back at the gate. And Amy turns to Jewel. How are things looking now? Well, the water soaking the ground will stop the fire from spreading through the undergrowth. And the trees in camp are far enough apart to prevent spread through the canopy. With any luck, the campground will be enough to stop the fire from spreading further down the valley. Okay, that's actually a really smart strategy. I hadn't thought about just dousing the ground so that fire can't really, take root there. But yeah, that's a pretty good plan. I just had not really thought about at all. Okay. And then Tangle calls, then you And Amy jumps in, you did it, Jewel! But Jewel sort of protests, not me, we did it. And Tangle sort of cheers, yeah! There's no way I could have organized everything without Amy's help. And Amy just sort of dithers, you just needed a little encouragement. And Belle then says, I never thought I'd be able to... Never thought I'd be able to what? Like, save people from the water or something? Because, like, there wasn't really a big crisis of confidence for Belle here. I'm not sure what exactly she was feeling all worried about there. But then I think it's Amy's line, never underestimate what you can do if you believe in yourself. And then Tangle runs up to Jewel. Jewel, there's something I gotta do too. I'm quitting the Restoration. Okay. It's also spelled wrong. It's spelled resortration there. But I'm assuming it's meant to be the Restoration. I'm sure she has a good reason for this, but that's not really what Jewel needs to hear right now. Maybe it's like the best way to save their friendship, I guess. And Jewel just sort of panics. And Amy gasps, Tangle kind of fucked up there, made a huge sort of social faux pas. That's not what I meant. Well, it is, but not like how it... jeez. And Jewel stops her. Tangle, it's okay. I know. The Restoration has been stifling you. But you stayed. For me. And I let you do it, because I wasn't brave enough to go it alone. And Tangle sort of, is sort of touched by Jewel's sort of acknowledgement of all of their various conflicts. This really is sort of, it is sort of the way to save their friendship. That, like, Tangle really, as you've seen since, like, Test Run, has not really been doing great with the Restoration. She's not really a rule follower in the same way, like, Sonic isn't really a rule follower. Sonic goes off and he'll help out when he's needed, but he's not, infantry soldier kind of for the Restoration kind of guy. And Tangle, I think, is much the same way. And Jewel's acknowledging that. Tangle sort of lets out, and Jewel stops her. What the Restoration's doing, it's not for everyone. The world needs people like you too, Tangle. So even if you go your own way, it's okay. I'll be okay. No matter what, I'm so, so proud of you. And we're seeing this just such a nice, like... I'm glad their friendship did not have to blow up to, like, reach the point where they're acknowledging their differences and that life is leading them down different paths. It's just some quality writing here, and I'm here for it. And Tangle just gives her a hug. Thanks, Jewel. And then we cut to some time later. I'm guessing at Tails' workshop, maybe? Okay, careful as you place it. I've got a clamp. And it looks like... So Tails is doing something to fix Belle's busted hand that got, all the metal unveiled from last issue. Wood glue we see he's using to sort of put it in place. And Belle looks at her new hand. Perfect! Thanks, Tails. And Tails sort of scratches his head. It's nothing. And Tails looks around. Without taking care of, we can take a look at this little guy. We've met other Eggman robots that learn to defy their programming, but they've all been more advanced models. Yeah, that is an interesting point. The people like Emerald and Gemerald and Omega, all sort of, and Gamma, as I recall, also in SA1, all sort of, were these upper-level robots that eventually sort of gained a consciousness. But Motobug is like some rant, like is Motobug the first enemy in the first game, I think? It's been a long time since I played Green Hill Zone. But I think it might be. It's a low-level badnik. But anyway, Belle takes a look at him. Do you think we could do this for other badniks? And Tails tells her, that's what I'd like to find out. Belle, I love like the flower she's put in Motobug's head. I'm a big fan of this cute little Motobug. Belle comments, if we could even help just a few. And then we cut to Tangle, Sonic, and Amy, who are working on some kind of construction project or something. I'm not sure. Amy has some kind of supplies. Sonic's just like chilling on a rooftop as Tangle tells him the story of the fire. And I thought we were going to crash for sure, but then wham! Belle did her super kick thing and jumped the entire gorge. It was sick. We fell in the river right after that anyway, but still. I like that little line there. And Sonic just complains, and I missed it all? Man. And Amy just teases him, you want to get dunked in a river? You got a point there. And then Sonic calls down to Tangle. So if you're doing your own thing now, what's your next move? And Tangle tells him, I'm going to find Whisper. A while back, she asked me if I wanted to travel with her. I'm ready now. Okay. So that's a nice little turn in Tangle's story. I'm going to open up my 45 real quickly if I can. See if I can find like the scene earlier, just like the flashback scene that... Yeah, here it is, the flashback scene with Tangle and Whisper. What exactly Whisper said as they sort of drifted apart there. So we have Whisper leaving, looking back in kind of regret. Tangle goes to sort of greet her. Okay, right. It was not a Tangle and Whisper splitting up. It was a Whisper and the Restoration splitting up. Your place is with the Restoration, mine isn't, is what Whisper says. And now that Tangle's acknowledged her place is not with the Restoration, and she can go help out and fight Mimic, which is also part of Whisper's goal here. There's a lot of stories. There's a lot of, Tangle is more than welcome, I think, back in Whisper's life now that she's not with the Restoration. I'm curious if we're going to, spend time with that in the main series, or if we might get some other mini-series or something. Because the Tangle and Whisper storyline is going to keep them fully divorced from the main cast for a long time. I'm not sure there's I'm not sure... this is kind of the first arc we've had that has not really featured Sonic in any way. He's here at the end here, and he was there at the very beginning, I think. But, he's not been part of the main action at all. And so I'm curious if this little bit here, right, of Tangle going to go find Whisper is a sign that we'll be getting more stories like that, with Sonic not quite in the background role, or not quite removed from the plot, but just revolving around storylines that Sonic did not feature in for a 4-issue arc or something. Or if maybe we'll get akin to what Archie did with the Sonic Universe series, just giving us, as I've been begging for since the Metal Virus saga ended, just spending time with each of the, different parts of the cast, apart from the main storyline. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Maybe they're building towards that, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, Jewel and I talked about... I thought I'd already read the next panel. I had not. I'm ready now. And I might have been a little hasty about quitting the Restoration. Jewel and I talked about it some more, and we're going to try something new. Okay, that's an interesting bit. Because I thought her whole going to find Whisper was built on the idea that she was leaving the Restoration, just like Whisper had done. I don't know, we'll see. Sonic jumps down. Well, if you get into anything fun, let me know. And Tangle calls, will do. And then, Whisper rides off on her bike, waves them goodbye. And Sonic and Amy watch her go. And Amy just comments, thank goodness it all worked out in the end. And Sonic nods. Sometimes a little change is just what the doctor ordered. And Amy just yells, no doctors. Are you trying to jinx us? Right, are there doctors in this universe that, aren't Dr. Eggman and Dr. Starline and, just various supervillains? But anyway, Sonic teases her, what? I'd have figured you'd be raring to go after that nice, relaxing vacation of yours. And Amy sighs, I give up. I guess a break just isn't in the cards. I'm glad the girls and I were there to help, though. Things could have gotten really bad. Let's hope that fire was just a fluke. There's an interesting bit, because Belle and Ash both witnessed Surge and Kit there. And Ash specifically saw Surge and Kit start the fire. So it's weird that, Amy seemingly is even broaching the possibility the fire was just a fluke. Sonic, however, doesn't quite seem as convinced. And we cut to the aftermath of the fire. Where all the fire has been put out at this point, as the ranger going through the sort of burned up woods. And he sees a tree, this one tree has been hollowed out and still on fire inside. That looks like it's been cracked open with lightning, with Surge. And he sees all these footprints around the tree, and he calls in on his radio, Firewatch, come in. Yup, it's like you said. This was no accident. And then we cut to the Chaotix. as if you've not heard, are the main focus characters in next issue. Vector is reading a newspaper that says strange attack on city. I'm trying to remember if that happened in the last Imposter Syndrome issue. But yeah, next time the Chaotix are on the case, and we have our next issue's cover, which teases not just the Chaotix, but also Rough and Tumble, which is nice. Chaotix Confidential presents Villains with Filthy Faces. Sensational. It's like set up like an old movie poster. It's a real cool cover. I really like it. But yeah, okay. So let's talk this issue. Because it's for the most part just, there's the slightest bit of setup for the Surgeon Kit storyline that's going to, of course, come to a head in issue 50, as has been very much advertised. But also, it's like, it's not really about that. It's not, getting to the bottom of what started the fire. It's sort of the girls coming together and solving a crisis. Just sort of working together, having a little bit of character development. Specifically with Tangle and Jewel's friendship gets the most character work done. Which, is fair, given as that was sort of one of the big character dramas we've been seeing ever since the Metal Virus ended, is sort of Jewel and Tangle's friendship kind of growing apart. We've seen that quite a bit over the last 15 issues or so. Specifically during Test Run and in this arc. And it's nice to see them reconcile without, again, everything going to shit first. Or with their friendship going to shit first. As, they get to have this delightful heart-to-heart where they both sort of acknowledge that, Tangle has never really belonged in the very rules-based Restoration. She's this sort of free spirit, and she kind of has to go her own way, but that friendship she has with Tangle is not going anywhere. It will forever stay even no matter friendship she has with Jewel is not going anywhere. It will forever stay an important part of their relationship. And also, maybe she's not quite leaving the Restoration after all. It's a little bit unclear what's going on with her there, and I don't know if we're going to get any more answers this side of issue 50, given that we're going into the Chaotix for maybe at most 2 issues, and then it's the big issue 50. Unless Tangle and Whisper get wrapped up in whatever's going to happen in the rest of Imposter Syndrome. But for now, we're going to have to put Tangle to the side for some period of time and deal with our new threat. Or our new drama, as we see the Chaotix are right about to get involved. It's a little bit unclear because we have that Firewatch come in, and yup, it's like you said, this was no accident, and then it cut to the Chaotix. So, the Chaotix have, the park ranger equivalent of, a police scanner, where they can, listen in on the radio call or something. Are the Chaotix sort of caught up in this investigation already or something? I don't know. Either way, the Chaotix are right about to become our focus characters, at least for the next issue or 2. And, the Chaotix are great. They had a lot of I loved the Chaotix before they had some of the big emotional moments of the Metal Virus saga. And I'm excited to see where we go with them next time. So yeah, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!